In the last section, we created our comment box component and turned it into a class-based component. We're now going to continue by wiring up a couple of event handlers to this thing. And after that, we'll then get started on our tests. Now, the first thing I want to do is create a new piece of state tied to this component. And that piece of state is going to manage the text area right here. So we're going to turn this into a controlled input. To get started, I'll initialize my state object at the top by writing out state equals, and then we'll call the piece of state that's going to exist for the value of this text area right here, we'll call it simply comment. And since it's going to eventually be a string, I'll default it to be an empty string like so. Next up, I'll make sure that I assign this piece of state right here to the text area component. So I'm going to say value equals this.state.comment. Now, once we establish that and save the file, if we flip back over and wait for the refresh, we can then try to enter some text into the text area. Any second, there we go. And of course, I can't actually type anything inside of here because we've declared the value of the text area, but we've not allowed that element to have its value updated at any point in time. So I'm going to make sure that I also attach an event handler to this text area. So I'll say that anytime someone enters some text into this thing, we'll fire off the onChange event. So I'll say onChange, and I'm going to create a new method inside this component that I will call this.handleChange. So I'll make sure that I define that method inside the comment box by writing out handleChange. We'll define this as a bound arrow function, like so. So this arrow function will be called with the event object that represents a user typing in that text area. So I will receive that event object, and then inside of handleChange, I'll call setState to update the value of comment. So this.setState, comment is event.target.value, like so. All right, so now if we save this and flip back over, I'll wait for the refresh to kick in. And you'll notice that we are back to being able to enter some text into the text input. Very good. Now the second thing I want to take care of very quickly here is also wire up a form submit handler to the form element right here as well. Right now, we don't have anything to really do with the comment that the user entered. However, you'll recall that we had said that anytime a user enters a comment right here and clicks on this button, we want to make sure that the text inside the text area gets cleared out or kind of deleted. And as a matter of fact, we had originally said that that was one of the things that we actually want to test inside of our application. So that was right here on the comment box. We had said when the user enters some input and clicks on submit, that text area should get emptied out. So that's definitely one of our goals. So on my form element, I'll add on a onSubmit event handler. And anytime that submit event occurs, we'll call a callback function that we'll call about simply handle submit. I think that's reasonable. And then we'll define handle submit inside of our component as well. Now, just like before, this event handler is going to be called with an event object. This is a HTML form right here, and we want to make sure that this form does not try to submit itself. So the first thing that we'll do inside this event handler is call event prevent default, and that'll keep our page from attempting to reload. Then maybe right here or somewhere, we're going to eventually want to make sure we call an action creator and save the comment that got entered by the user. So we don't have any Redux wired up to our application just yet, so we're not going to take care of that just right now, but at least we can attempt to empty out that text area. And we can do so by calling this.setState, and then we'll set comment to be an empty string. So that will cause the text area to empty itself out. And then I'm going to put a little space in here just to make sure that it's clear that we still have to do this step right here. And you know what, why not? Let's put a little to-do note on there as well. Okay, so now we'll do another quick test inside the browser for this as well. If I flip back over to my application, any second now, there we go. I should be able to enter in some text, click on submit comment. The page does not reload, so we've prevented that default behavior, and you'll notice that the text area gets emptied out as well. So this is looking pretty good. Let's continue in the next section, and we're going to start writing some tests around our comment box. So quick break, and I'll see you in just a minute.